So welcome back. We've got another project on the channel, and just to let you know that the new channel is Repeat. I keep forgetting what it is. What is it though?
Giggles. Project Drive Repeat.
That's it. So it's Project Drive Repeat. Remember that? Anyway, moving on. So our next project on the channel, and it's a very exciting one, and I can't wait to show you. If you want to pan out, this is a Mark 4 Golf R32. It's a good friend of mine, Barry, and stupidly I said yes to doing the opening rear quarter window mod on it. So I'm going to show you how it's done, how I came up with the idea, and yeah. Okay, so here I'm just taking off the inner plastics just to be able to access the inside of the window. So when I cheese wire the window out, I'm not damaging any of the plastics and the headline or anything like that. As you can see, I've got a lovely bump and I've disappeared. I'm just going to find some tools, maybe a big hammer usually. But yeah, there's the rear parcel shelf plastics, they're all held in by some torque screws, so I'm just undoing those, and that should just give me the access then to remove those, to remove the seat pillars, the seat belts, and yeah, that should just give me the right amount of room and access I need to cut the window out safely. So that was held in by a T20 or T25, and the rest just slots out. Got these that just slot out just into here. So yeah, I've done that side. I'll quickly do that side, then we'll get the C-pillars off. I think it's a 17mm or something like that. Nut that's holding the rear seat belts on, so we'll get that out. Basically we're just going to get as much as we can out of the way. And then we can start cutting the windows out. So I've got, I think they're 10mm, so we've got a 10mm nut in there, and then there's one just the back of there, and then we got the same. You might be able to see them on this side. Come on, where are you? See, you just got one right there, and then there's another one just down there. So once I've undone those, it should be just clipped on, but obviously I've got to get that you know, seat belt off first, and unclip this as well, so we'll take that off. It should just be held on by plastic clips. So just put all this over here so it's all nice and neat in my new workshop. Well, this bit anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the grab handles down. That should just give me some leverage on that headliner, because I don't want to crease it. So it's just held up by two Phillips screws. So we've got one out. And that should just give me, what I'll do is I'll probably put a packer underneath the headliner just to pack it out a bit. It's just to keep the headliner away from the glass, so when I cheese wire it out, you know, we're not gonna damage that edge there. So just show you kind of what I'm trying to achieve. Basically I just need access around that window, so I'm just pulling the panels away. These, they don't need to come all the way out, not yet anyway. So my next thing now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of prop that headliner down just ever so slightly, just so it kind of keeps itself away from the glass. And yeah, then we just need to tape around to protect the paint, and then we need to cheese wire this window out. Again, it does come encapsulated, so that's like that like rubber trim there, which kind of comes on the glass, but we need to get rid of that. So obviously we're going to cheese wire through it, so it'll just damage it and it'll fall off anyway, but we won't actually need that. So it'll just be the glass. So yeah, so that is the next job to do. And hopefully you can hear me. In fact, hopefully you can hear me better, because I've now upgraded to a new camera and it's not just off my iPhone. So I'll show you what we need to do prep wise to safely get this glass out. Obviously there's always a risk, but you know, let's try and minimize those. All right, let's go. So we're just going to tape it up as best as we can. A few layers. You put too much polish on this, Barry. You owe me a roll of tape. Right, okay. Cut. So I'm just kind of degreasing it. Basically just kind of, I'm sorry, but taking a bit of all the layers of polish off. But just think of the fun that you'll have putting all that polish back on. So hopefully the tape will stick to it now, he says. So I'm just gonna get me tape again, and we'll call this round 2, part 2, which is still part 1, and part 2's to come. Right, done, I think. My left eye's looking here, my right eye's looking there. Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to take your eye off either side really, because you want to make sure that the cheese wire is kind of scraping along the edge of the glass, like that. You're not going to do any damage to it. Well, I suppose if you just carried on in the same spot, you probably would. But it'll glide across the glass. And again, you know, you don't want to be touching any of that paintwork. Unless you don't give a shit, then crack on.
God, you hardly look like you're even touching that.
I'm just getting to that corner there. Right. Just cool that down a minute. And then just carefully rest that there. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dry the top of that glass off, because we need to put some tape on it, otherwise the glass will fall out and damage the paintwork. So just clean off this excess here. And the same down there, because we've already cut that. So we're to there, and again we've already cut that as well. So I'm just going to put some tape across, just to hold it in. And then down there, just for good luck. So that should now just hold the glass in, and then now we can just finish off. There we go. Whew. So I've just got my sucker now. Put that on the glass. We're going to put some pressure on this just to hold it in, and then peel that tape away and just carefully lift the glass out. So obviously that's your old glue. And then the old trim, which we won't need, is still attached. But obviously all that's all going to get cut off in a minute. So now that we've done the horrible bit, we could take this tape off. So what we'll do now, we'll just cut away this old glue here. In fact, if you come round to the other side, I've already done that side. So as you can see, so I've cut it. I've tried not to, I mean in some places, but that's fine because I'll primer those up. But you need to cut this glue so it's almost flush with the bodywork and the paint. And then it is filthy behind there, so you just need to go around and clean it all up as best as you can. You can add polish because we're not actually going to be bonding anything in this area apart from here. But again, all that will be degreased and primered and prepped, ready for that. So yeah, so we get the other side looking like this side. So I've got this, it's what they call like a long knife in the windscreen trade. And then we got some blades going in. And then I just need to just lower that, just so that when I'm cutting the glue,
borrow my hand there.
yeah, so I'm not basically cutting the headliner. And again, you've got to have a steady hand, which is why I'm showing you, but you need to come to me and get it done. So once you make a start, get it so it's flat, and then what I'm doing here, I'm kind of pulling that glue, and because you've got a sharp blade, it's literally just kind of going through like butter. Again, what I'm trying not to do as well is that pointy part of the blade, I don't want it touching the top part of the glass, the body, because otherwise you're going to make a scratch in it. Yes, you can put primer over it to prevent it from rusting, but I don't want to make any more work for myself, and plus it's going to look shit. And it's all about hand position.
You're caggy-handed anyway, aren't you? Because you're left-handed.
Yeah, this might look strange to a lot of people because yeah, I am the right-handed.
No.
Let's not go into that. So we get so far. And although that the blade is okay, I'm still just going to replace it for another one, because obviously keeping it sharp is just better. You can control it more. You can start feeling when it starts going a bit blunt because you're kind of having to put a bit more force on it, standard. What I'll do now, you have to get a picture of my arse. I'm going to go that way, and there is method in the madness. So if I slip, I'm kind of going into the car. If I'm this way and I slip, I'm going down straight into the paintwork. And then always cut your excess off as well. See, like my blade's going a bit. What's a few blades for a paint job? Although this is a modification, so technically it's at the customer's risk. So again, just take your time, nice and easy around the bends. If you're in control of the job, there you go. So what we'll do now, I'll just go around and just make sure that it is as flat as I can to the bodywork, and then we'll clean all that area up. Ooh, 15-year-old polish. What do you think to the camera woman? Is she doing a good job? If she's not, if you see her at any of the car shows, it's my wife, Laura. Give her a bollocking. So what we'll do now, we'll just carefully just go over any of the high spots. Right. Now, this is just standard glass cleaner. Just spray it all into that aperture there. And then with a clean cloth, not one that's been on the floor, we just want to go around and just clean all that muck that's been accumulating for years. That is satisfying. See, look, there's all your old crap in there. And then might take a few attempts. You see it all coming out?
Yeah.
Like when we used to do the windscreens back in the day. You'd always do this. It's quite satisfying. And then once we've done that, get yourself another clean rag. And then I've just got some bit of detailer. Basically, this is just get rid of all the fingerprints and just try and make it as neat as we can. Like so. Because obviously once the glass is in, you're not really going to have another opportunity to, you know, clean behind it as such. There you go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so onto the glass. So we need to obviously get this prepped before it goes in. So what we need to do is we need to just take all this old glue off. So we'll cut this off, clean the glass, prep the glass. I'll go around and I'll probably just primer all the edge of the glass anyway, because if you've ever noticed on your cars, you'll see like a band here where the black band is all, as if it's like it's shrunk, or it's just like almost like water's got in between. That's actually a thing, and it's this time where we can actually make this glass look like $1 million again. I should have done it on my Mark V, but I was that excited about getting them back in, I forgot to do it. So what we'll do is get the long knife again, put a new blade in. Okay, so we got all the glue off, and then now what I'm going to do is we're basically just going to give the glass a quick clean. Just get all the sticky fingerprints and all the bum sweat, basically. So just put a bit on your rag, and then we're just going to go around, just degrease the whole side, but mainly this side, which is the front edge of the glass.
Because that's the side that will be bonded in.
Yeah. So, and obviously that, even though I'd cleaned it with a glass cleaner, that's why it's really important to degrease your glass. Even if it's a brand new one, you'd still get crap coming off it. Hey, 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 hey. And then I've got the primer. So this primer matches the glue that I'm going to use. So try not to mix up your products basically. Give it a good shake. And get your primer bud. Dip it in well. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to do the edge of the glass. All the way around. And then on this leading edge, we're going to make that, we're going to double it up, because obviously that is where the bond is going to go. And then we might as well just right. So what I'll do now I've done the glass, obviously I'll prep the other glass as well. You don't really need to see that twice. So I'm just going to be prepping the aperture. So again, we'll use the degreaser, and now we'll just go round, just degrease. Have I already done this?
No.
Well, anyway, just go round, degrease it all. But your main area that you want to make sure is nice and clean is this bit here. And then once we've done that, I'll go round and I'll apply some primer. Just go over it. You won't see this because the knock-on trim. There you go. Just make sure I haven't missed anywhere. Happy with that? Obviously I'll do the same on the other side, but you don't need to see that again. So that's it then for part one. Glass is out. The car obviously is all stripped, so we did that in part one. We've cut both rear quarter windows out in part one. We've prepped them, we've prepped the bodywork, and then keep tuned
for part 2, and I will explain and show you how to manufacture the brackets for the electric motors, and then we'll get the windows, we'll get the seal onto the bodywork, and that's when you'll start noticing that it's going to take shape. So yeah, stay tuned. Bye.